Game week is upon us, and it was a very stacked day today at NRG. Landry Locker, Cody Stutes with you. We started later because they started later. Not only did they start later, a little bit late to the podium, which we're going to keep stats on that, see what their record is when they're late to the podium. This is number one. We're going to keep stats. It might
Landry is going to keep stats on that. I am not going to keep stats.
It might still be a 17-game season if we're being honest, but, you know, the 30 plus 35, 15's okay. Once we get in 30, yeah, we'll keep stats on that. So if it happens, then maybe they should be late again, 30 minutes. Who cares? Nobody cares. Anyway, let's go to the practice field. And the big news out of the practice field, and this was a very astute observation, if I do say so myself, Cody Stutes is still one of those guys. Do you have a roster handy?
I do.
All right, hold it up. Show the people what this is. So the names are right there. Cody Stutes goes through each number, and he marks for attendance. And it can be a very tedious process, but he marks for attendance. And Cody noticed that there were not one, but two slot receivers missing in action.
Mm-hmm. No Braxton Berrios and no Christian Kirk on the practice field during the open portion of practice where the media was allowed to watch. So that's pretty notable. You were going to rely on Christian Kirk, and obviously they've still got Thursday and Friday to practice and play. But this Christian Kirk is one of the elements that gives you a little bit of ease with the quick game, is his ability to win quick. And Berrios is the starting punt returner and a factor in the kick return as well. So those two players notable on Wednesday. Wednesday's a big day. Thursday, probably one of their bigger days, probably the biggest day. You practice Thursday, usually you play in the weekend, but just notable to see those two guys absent
about practice
from practice on this one.
Yeah, and I mean you have a lot of slot receivers, and one of the things that we've talked about is they can use a multiple. They might not be doing that this week. You have guys who can still line up, but it is something to keep an eye on. That from a Christian Kirk perspective, I know it's early, but that was kind of the knock on him the last 2 years when it came to Christian Kirk. It was, man, he just hadn't been able to stay healthy for whatever reason. So it would be a damn shame if, with all that talk and all that dialogue, Christian Kirk is not available for the first game of the season. But that's why they drafted Jalen Knoll. It was kind of a luxury pick, and we'll see what happens. And Cody's a big Jalen Knoll fan because he prefers him wearing number 14 than 82. Just looks better for Cody.
He looks better in the uniform with 14 on than he does with 82 on. And, swag matters. And he looks better with 14 on his back than he does 82. 82 looked weird. 81 looks fine on Jaden Higgins, but 82 didn't look right on Knoll. He's 14 now, and it looks good. And if they go into this game with no Braxton Berrios and no Christian Kirk, A, I believe you're going to get a lot of Knoll, and B, hey, how many more challenges do you want to hand to Nick Caley? Rebuilt offensive line, star running backs out, starting slot receivers out, veteran backup slot receiver is out. And so, hey, mix and match and figure it out. First-year play caller, first-year offensive coordinator. Now, again, they can still practice and play this weekend, and certainly hope they do. But I'd be pretty excited to see if day one Jalen Knoll can Wally Pip Christian Kirk. That'd be a fun thing to have happen.
Well, I don't look at Braxton Berrios as like that big of a deal because I think they have alternatives and they've kind of worked on them. But I think having Kirk and Knoll just seemed like such a luxury. But we'll see. I mean, there's practice tomorrow. There's practice Friday. So we'll see what it looks like. But right now, let's keep an eye on those slots.
We're in here talking about practice.
Other observations from the practice field. And from the practice field, we'll go to the press conference, and then we'll go into the locker room. So we're taking you with us on the journey here on SNL that was the day at NRG. Number 8 was out there. CJ Gardner-Johnson was out there. He's very active. DeMeco Ryans is really just saying he's good to go. No snap count, no nothing. He's good to go. There's no maybe, there's nothing. It's he's good to go. He's ready to go. And we saw CJ Gardner-Johnson out there.
That's a player that they were excited to have on the team. And the impacts, I mean, you'd rather have him on the field than MJ Stewart. It remains to be seen if the impact is the same as it was in some of his previous stops. But I'd rather have CJ Gardner-Johnson out there than MJ Stewart, and have MJ Stewart be a key reserve and special teams player, and see if CJ Gardner-Johnson can bring some of that ball hawking safety success that he's had in recent years and bring it to the Texans, in addition to the ball hawking safety play that Kalen Bullock had last year. So pretty formidable safety duo having both those guys out there. And CJ Gardner-Johnson acted like it was no big deal. He was fine, and he'd been fine, and sounded like he was ready to go when we talked to him in the locker room.
Yeah, he sounds like he's ready to go. He's got no Diddy jokes and chapstick and all that. He's got a lot going on. You can check that out. I actually tweeted it. I'll react to it on YouTube too, Locker Room Tonight. But yeah, CJ Gardner-Johnson is CJ Gardner-Johnson. Anything else that stuck out on the practice field? I really didn't notice anything else too insane. It is kind of, when you get the visual, the tight end group looks really thin. It obviously is, but like when you actually see what you have out there, it's the least impressive group on the eyes. I think this is a getting off the bus type of squad, where the old term, their win, get off the bus. They look the most impressive. They look the most massive. They look the most intimidating. I think in most areas, the Texans are pretty impressive off the bus. Tight end,
I mean, Cade Stover doesn't look like a bitch or anything, but there's only two of them. And then you got Harrison Bryant running around. So,
Chase, this did not happen in the media availability. He said, "Hey, bro, sorry about the misdiagnosis." Did not happen. That is a very funny one, though. And then we walked over to the press conferences. We waited for a little bit, and the captains were announced too. And we had the captains announced this morning. So we had, as expected, CJ Stroud, Will Anderson. That was not a surprise. Nico Collins, who I threw out I thought either Nico or Stingley would get a captain spot, even though neither one of them really talk a lot. I thought one of them would. Nico Collins is a captain this year. So there's that. Then you had Azeez Al-Shire. No surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dar Gumbo, a captain. And we've always said you don't want Dar Gumbo on the field for the majority of snaps. I thought maybe he would have been in danger this year of making the roster. Although you kind of wonder, would Nick Chubb be here if Joe Mixon weren't hurt? And would Dameon Pierce be the odd guy out? But there would be no such thing as underachievers if everybody maximized their God-given abilities like Dar Gumbo, and now he's going to have a C on his chest, and it just ho-hum for him. Just Mr. Consistency, according to Frank Ross and DeMeco Ryans. Dar Gumbo, pretty much your special teams captain.
Yeah, a couple of offensive players, a couple of defensive players, and your special teams captain, Dar Gumbo. So that's nice. I don't want him to be out there running the football a bunch, but go out there and be that special teams ace.
Yep. Good for him. Good for Dar Gumbo. Is that all we need on captain talk, or do you really want to emphasize anything? I don't get a lot from it.
I mean, it's not like they get a stat boost or something, or hey, touchdowns caught by captains.
The jersey does look cooler. I will say it does. If I was a player, it does look cooler when you just got that C right there. It's a big flex. It's like a high school patch, for some sort of accomplishment. But other than that,
it's a lot of guys who in the past year have been as best they can head down, go to work guys. Whereas, there was a captain at left tackle last year that was not,
that was so bad. That was so bad. That was so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. So after this, we went to the locker room and we heard some interesting things. We'll get to that though, but we still had the press conference. I forgot about it. That extra 35, 40 minutes kind of made me forget. But yeah, it did happen. CJ Stroud was second.
It's like a fish. It keeps getting it was 25 minutes. It lands 35, 45.
No, it was over 30. It was over 30.
Tomorrow it'll be Hey, when they made us wait 90 minutes, it's like every time you tell a story, your fish gets bigger.
It was over 30 for sure. But DeMeco Ryans is in complete hardo mode when it comes to the offensive line. I like this. I think he's right about it. I mean, it's been one of the major talking points of the offseason. And DeMeco Ryans, he's tired of talking about the offensive line.
For our offensive line, we'll see. It's been questions all offseason about our offensive line. Everybody wants to know who's going out there, who is this guy, this position, that position. It's just a lot of talk that quite frankly, I'm tired of talking about it. Like, it's time to go play, and let's see how our five matches up against a really great defensive line. And that's what we'll see on Sunday. Let's see how it all plays out.
Did he almost go F word there?
Hell no. I don't think DeMeco's ever said the F word.
Oh, you don't think he's ever dropped the F-bomb?
No, I really don't.
You think he was close to saying, I'm tired of freaking talking about it?
If DeMeco said the F word, it's under 10 times. It's single digits. If he has ever said it, it's single digit times. Zero chance.
I feel you on that.
So I think he kind of, in case you didn't know, if we want to talk about the offensive line.
Quite frankly, I'm tired of talking about it.
Okay, I got you. I feel you. Okay. What about Matthew Stafford? Y'all have quite a history. The record between DeMeco Ryans and Sean McVay with Ryans as a DC is 4-1. Now you might say, well, that's good. So DeMeco's gotten the best of Sean McVay, 4-1. I don't know. The one loss was an NFC championship game. So, it resulted in the Rams winning the Super Bowl. So I don't know how we measure these things, but they've had some battles. They've gone toe to toe. And Matthew Stafford has had a little bit of success with DeMeco Ryans, especially on the big stage. And I asked DeMeco Ryans what he likes about Matthew Stafford, who's one of CJ Stroud's favorite guys.
What are the biggest challenges that Matthew Stafford presents from a defensive coach's POV?
Stafford has done it exceptionally well for a long time. There's nothing you're going to do to confuse him from a defensive coach's perspective. He's seen it all. He's played against every type of coverage you want to run. He's done it. He's been successful. So not trying to surprise him or fool him. Like, we got to be where we're supposed to be and just play sound.
Okay.
That and we're not going to play because I didn't think it was a good answer, but like, when you have younger quarterbacks that haven't seen everything, you try to surprise them with stuff. You try to show them stuff that they weren't expecting or they haven't seen before. And sometimes that works. And DeMeco Ryans annihilated some rookie quarterbacks last year and had some success here in his time with the Texans against rookie quarterbacks. Show young, inexperienced players something they haven't seen before. Don't ask if it's an offensive lineman that's getting shown that. But yeah, you're not tricking Matt Stafford. He's seen it all. He's done it all. He's succeeded against everything. And DeMeco kind of followed that up with, like, we just got to play what we can do. There's no tricks. There's no this. We just have to do exactly what we want to do and sort of impose our will on them offensively if we're going to have success. And I mean, Stafford's really good. And I know his back's banged up, but this is the ultimate get off the training table and throw for 300 on you type of guy. So if it was numerous other guys, I'd be like, oh, okay, the back, you never know. This guy, icy hot, let's go. And so you got to be ready for Matt Stafford.
I would say that hardo mode, like, I think hardo mode's a good thing. And I think when DeMeco goes in hardo mode, I think it's a real good thing because Paul's like a mofo, but I think that DeMeco Ryans is like, his intensity is authentic. It's not always like, I didn't agree with the rant last week. I don't think he agreed either. But it's always authentic. But the other thing that I think on top of the Stafford thing, just going back to it, the O-line, I think he's tired of talking about him good too. Like, I want to emphasize this before we move on to the Stafford thing. Like, I think he's tired of talking about them good too, because they really haven't done shit. And you heard Ursary say that, like, I've done nothing. So I don't think this is like a situation where DeMeco is just being 100% defensive of the offensive line. I think he's obviously addressed the bad. I mean, they got a whole new scheme. They got a whole new offensive line coach. They brought in 3 new starters. So and it feels like lately the talk has been good. So I think when he says he's tired of the talk, he's just as tired. He's just as tired of the good stuff as he is the bad stuff, if that makes sense. Like, I think naturally, because he's always going to defend his players, you listen to that clip and you say, man, he's just defending them. And no, I think he's tired. I think he's tired of both. I think he's tired of talking about them good and bad. He just wants to see what the hell it looks like.
Yeah, he said all he could say about the offensive line. There's nothing left to say.
Yes, 100%. As far as Stafford goes, I think it was really interesting how he said that, you can't really trick him. You don't really overthink it. And I don't know if that's a good thing for a defense or a bad thing for a defense where you're not getting as exotic. The one thing I think about the Texans, though, is DeMeco's shown that he's willing to blitz. But I think their defense is so good that if you are just not really trying to get too exotic, I think they can get home. And I think that's the beauty of DeMeco. I think DeMeco really has the luxury. They don't have this on offense. I think he really has the luxury of playing any style he wants. I think if there was a quarterback that he felt like he could confuse, that he would be able to execute that. But if there's a quarterback that he doesn't, he'll be able to execute that as well. There's some defenses where they're just like real blitz heavy no matter what. There's some that are just base no matter what. I feel like the Texans are just so like talented on defense that there's really no limitations to what they can do.
And look, you may need to at one point or another just get a little extra heat on Stafford so that he does have to make a quick decision, or you can get to him. But I'm with you. Run those 4 defensive linemen out there and then try to get everybody out there in coverage. It's when they're throwing the rock, it's 2 guys that can beat you. It's Devontae Adams, it's Puka Nacua. I'm not super worried about the tight ends if I'm the Texans. I'm not super worried about Tutu Atwell if I'm the Texans. Whittington's probably a little bit nicer than people give him credit for, but even then, like DeMeco Ryans losing sleep over Jordan Whittington, no. So I'm with you. Just unleash hell with those 4 guys and got some good coverage options or good coverage guys. Go out there and cover the best you can, see what happens.
Then we get more from DeMeco Ryans, and this was your question, and I thought this was good. This is about motion and all the creativity and all that type of stuff. Here was DeMeco talking about that.
Hicks mentioned the multipleness of the wide receivers, how they can move around. Some of the wide receivers have mentioned that. McVay's obviously moved guys inside, outside. What kind of challenge does that present for a defense with your eyes before the snap, with guys lining up in different places?
When guys are lining up in different places or moving all over the place, if you allow it to distract you, it will distract you. If your eyes are right and you're where you're supposed to be, then it really shouldn't matter to me. Like, it's about us and doing what we're supposed to do. But when guys, the motion, you see it on tape consistently, it can distract guys, right? And that's why offense is motion so much. That's why the motion percentage has skyrocketed over the past 5 years, because of the motions and the problems that it presents to defenses, whether that's showing your hand in coverage or getting guys to look in the wrong place, and the offense are able to have productive plays. So it's just about how disciplined are you defensively. The most disciplined defenses handle the motions well, and it doesn't affect them much.
It's also been something that kind of Kalen Bullock has said that he needed to work on, was using his eyes. I've heard that a couple of times from players. So it is something that they kind of emphasize. It's kind of like one of their fundamental principles when it comes to your eyes and keeping your head in the right place.
And my hope was he'd give me a little something on how they use motions or their goal. Obviously, their goal is the same thing, is to confuse the defense, get them looking somewhere where they shouldn't be, and make it happen. But we're going to see more movement from the Houston Texans offense in 2025 than we saw in 2024.
There's no doubt about that. They're damn sure better be more motion. Let's go to the soup.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
Good afternoon to HDAV Traveler. Appreciate you for rolling through. Ziggy says off topic, but were either of you a part of a frat in college?
I was not.
I was for like a semester when I transferred. I played on their basketball team. They kind of dirty recruited me. So I went.
You were a ringer?
I went through it, and I actually got initiated and everything, and then I never showed up for anything. So it ended there. Same one as McConaughey, Will Ferrell. Like, yeah. So yeah, it played some basketball, drank some beer, and that was about it. Any hazing wasn't going to go down too well. I actually got in trouble for trying to fight someone for trying to pull that crap. But yeah, the paddle. Never got the paddle. Never happened to me.
The paddle.
I
like how they just dirty recruited you to play on the hoops team.
Yeah, because it transferred in the spring semester. So dirty recruit. We got to the championship. But yeah, that was pretty much it. You know who fratted hard when I was there? Like right before? Wes Welker. Wes Welker was a big I think he was a Phi Delta or something like that. So there you go. More from DeMeco. Cody was on a roll today. He really wanted to know about Kyron Williams, the running back for the Rams. Texans got to stop the run. They got to stop the slot guys, which is kind of connected to the motion. What about the run game and their back?
With their running back, Kyron Williams, late round guy that's established himself over the past couple of years. What have you seen from him, and what does he do well that presents a challenge?
Yeah, Kyron, man, he has great contact balance. You see guys, you see him make guys miss consistently. Like, he is always going forward, playing really physical ball, but we have to swarm and wrap tackle him. Like, he makes a lot of guys miss. That really jumps out on the tape for me. Like, if you're one-on-one in the hole, he does have the ability to really, make you look silly if you allow him. So it's going to take everybody running to the football, straining how we strain, playing physical, because one guy is not getting him down all the time. And all these guys, they strain. Puka, Kyron, like, if one guy's there, they are straining to get extra yards. They're always fighting to get extra yards. So they play it the right way, man. So it's a challenge all the way across the board. It's going to be a 60-minute challenge, and we're up for it.
All right. We're up for it.
I mean, most of the time last year when they won, Kyron Williams had a good game. So I'm not saying that's like the key or the secret or anything like that. And obviously the offense for them is going to look a little bit different, but he goes off. The likelihood that if you losing goes up. So you got to slow him down. I actually really like the chance that this defensive front seven can slow down an opposing rushing attack, just with the personnel that they have and who they could put in there and the way Petrie plays around the line of scrimmage. So I like their chances to slow down Kyron Williams, but he gets going, has a big day, probably means a loss for the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like the guy that's just going to completely beat you. I think it's like a compliment to what they do, but I am with you. CJ Gardner-Johnson, by the way, called Devontae Adams the best route runner of all time in his opinion. So he has a hell of a lot of respect for him. I think he said that he's only played him once before though. So he's pretty high on him. Kyle on the soup says, "Sup fellas, food plan on Sunday ?
I think you got to go like some appetizers for kickoff, and then appetizers for the noon kickoff, and then right around 2:00 you eat. Like, you get your entree, and then you're ready for the game. You don't be eating during the game.
Yeah, some people get the food like ready for the game, and I'm like, man, what is going on here? You got to get that a lot earlier. Me personally, I'm not really gonna have any food plans. I'm gonna be wired in. So
I'm thinking nachos.
Oh, nachos. Yeah, you had some nachos today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did. So big nacho guy, that Cody Stutz. Big nacho guy. Or you could order some pizza. How about some pizza? 2 Fridays from now, we're going to be at Spanky's. I love Spanky's. It's been it's pushing half a century being in the game. It's locally owned and established. Big Frank back in 1976, he did it. Now his daughters, he started the business. Now they run it. And the thing I like about Spanky's, it's well priced. Today you can get you a one topping pizza, large, for just $11.75, which is a steal. Pretty much you can bring in the whole crew. You're gonna eat for $8 to $10 each. And they also make their own dough and sauce daily. The wings are underrated. The ranch, it is homemade as well. I've loved Spanky's for a long time. And come out there and hang out with us out there on Bellaire Boulevard 2 Fridays from now. We'll be out there, and we're happy to be working with them during the season. One of the great local Houston establishments. So hopefully we see y'all there.
Yeah, you come on out. We got some giveaway stuff we're going to be giving away, and you never know what surprise guests will show up to hang out with us. So it's going to be a fun time. And the nice little recap of what happens in LA. Get you ready for Tampa coming to town for the home opener on Monday Night Football. We'll have a fun Friday.
Yes, we will. And now Kyle, for his question, is being accused of being an industry plant for the food setup. It was not a setup. It was just a good transition right there. That's what that was. So shout out to Spanky's. We look forward to it. And you should definitely go there. The new location's just sick. It's badass. So we look forward to being out there. And shout out to Holly and everyone out there for letting us partner with them during the season. That's not the only announcement we got, but we still got to hear from CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud was at the podium as well. Before we do that, though, we've talked about the quarterback. We've talked about the running back. We got to talk about the wide receivers. What does DeMeco Ryans think about their wideouts?
Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, two talented, big-time playmakers. Like, they're going to find ways to get these guys to football because we know they're great with the ball in their hands. I mean, they can make you miss. They can hit explosives down the field. Everything you want from a receiving standpoint, both guys are able to do that. So for us, again, it's going to be a collective effort. It's not about one corner covering one guy. It's about collectively, like, how are we going to stop these guys as a defense? They're going to move guys around all over the place. So we just have to be on it. We have to make sure we're urgent with our communication, urgent with our eyes and alignments to make sure we're on it, we're dialed in of where guys align and what they're trying to do to us, how they're trying to attack us. If we play the game the right way, everybody is on it, then we'll be just fine.
Well, I'm dreading Puka Nacua in the slot, and Jalen Petrie walks over there trying to defend him.
Yeah, that's really the big concerns. And we actually saw Adams end up on Petrie last year too. That didn't go too well. So there definitely is. That's kind of one of the big chess matches of the game is how that looks. No Petrie as a captain. So maybe the snap count goes down too. So yeah, maybe they knew. Maybe they knew. They knew Christian Harris was coming in and that was going to be the big thing.
Snap count better not go down. They paid him $10 million.
Well, kind of happens. Sometimes it's be like that. CJ Stroud, after DeMeco Ryans left, CJ Stroud walked into the podium. And CJ Stroud looked pretty focused. He looked pretty ready to go. He looked like he was foaming out the mouth to play. And right off the top, he had 2 words for you.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby. CJ, what was this? Go ahead, take it away.
I feel like a lot of times in the NFL, from what I've learned, is like a lot of coaches or teams try to make like the player fit the scheme instead of the scheme fitting the player. And I think it's sometimes a good thing because you get to challenge yourself to try new things, but also I think, you should come in and try to have the scheme fit the players in a way, just because there's certain guys are really good at X, Y, and Z, not good at A, B, and C, and I think like there's a balance you need to have to like challenge yourself to try new things, but also doing things that you're already naturally good at. So this offense does a good job at that of like trying to or doing things that guys are naturally good at, but also challenging to try new things.
Okay, well.
he might as well have said,
Well, okay.
F you, Bobby.
All right.
I mean,
There
my
you go.
goodness.
There
Just-
you go.
That couldn't have been more. The way we did it last year ain't the way to do it, and the way we're doing it this year is the way to do it.
No, I said this yesterday that if CJ Stroud wanted Bobby Slowick around, Bobby Slowick would be here. And I'm not sitting here saying that CJ Stroud like stomped into the coach's office, but if CJ Stroud would have said, no, I want to ride and die with Bobby Slowick would still be here.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just obvious. And you can kind of read between the lines as to what's being said and all that. Here's more on CJ. And I thought this was interesting because you could tell Chancellor Johnson was working on like some sort of Nico Collins angle or something because he kept asking about him. That's usually how it happens. But he asked about the importance of having a go-to guy. And CJ said, yeah, it's important, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And I sat there and I was thinking, okay, well, when he was at Ohio State, he had to get on the same page with like first round picks in the NFL, multiple at the same time. And this year, he's got multiple receivers who he's never thrown a pass to. The majority of the receivers in that room, not named Nico Collins, he's never thrown a pass to. And I just wonder, it's the majority. It's pretty much everyone except Hutchinson. Like Hutchinson's the only guy that he's thrown a pass to in a game.
Watson, Berrios, Kirk, Knoll, and Higgins are all.
Yeah. So strong majority. I asked him, like, how do you get on the same page with the receivers that you haven't played a game with? And how important is it for actual game action to happen? And dude, CJ dropped a dime on this one. I thought this was a really, really, really good answer from CJ Stroud on how to get on the same page with these new receivers when you already have Nico Collins who you trust.
Going back to the go-to guy, you've gotten on the same page with a lot of receivers going back to Ohio State. What's the trust process, like developing trust for some of the new guys that you might have this year? And how much of that do you actually have to play games for that to begin?
Yeah, I know it's kind of weird, but I would say like failure is probably the best way to get that done in ways. Like throwing a ball, like even now, me and Nico sometimes don't connect, and that there's good things because now we can have a conversation. So sometimes it's in practice, like when it's too perfect, which is also a goal. Sometimes it could not be good because in the game it's not going to be exactly how we draw it up or the scout guys give it to us. So I think sometimes like having hard conversations are like, bro, you need to be better here. I need to be better there. So I think that has to do with it. And yes, playing in games definitely does help.
Pretty honest answer right there. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and that's kind of obvious. So we'll see what that looks like with the new wideouts. Go back to Z Soup.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
Kyle Nance is defending his honor about him being an industry plant and just throwing the alley-oop up on the Spanky's promotion, which, by the way, will be there 2 Fridays from now if you haven't heard, the Bellaire Boulevard location. And if you haven't heard, less than $12 for a large pizza, 1 topping today, in case you didn't know. Kyle says, I'm a MFing truck driver. Shout out to you, my man. Wish I had industry money. Shout out to the truck drivers out there grinding, dude. Grinding with all these crazy drivers out there.
Roll on highway, roll on along. You don't know nothing about Alabama, do you?
Dominic Castillo on the stoop says, I'm the biggest DP fan. Dr. Pepper, because of his rookie season. What are the chances to get at least 60% of his rookie year? So 600 yards? Not great, I would say. I do think there's like a outside puncher's chance that maybe in certain situations he can establish himself. But I just wonder, would Dameon Pierce, unless you think they brought in Nick Chubb because they knew about Mixon, which might make sense, I think Dameon Pierce might have been the guy out in the running back room had Mixon been ready to go and Chubb was here. Does that make sense?
If they had Joe Mixon, they wouldn't need Dameon Pierce.
I think he would be the guy out.
They might have tried to like dump him to somebody for a late round pick.
No, but I don't think he would have been on the team.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just saying I don't think it would have just been like an out and out cut. They might have tried to find somebody that likes that rookie year and thought they could recapture it.
Yeah, I'm not going to completely dismiss it. I think the committee is wide open. By the way, Woody Marks, they said he doesn't say much. He's fine. Like I talked to Woody Marks today. He was fine.
Yeah, you had like a just 10-minute conversation with him.
I went 10 minutes. That's for sure. I wasn't going to get 10 minutes out of him. Barely got a minute. Aaron was in. Aaron puts the damn mic on their thing, like in locker room scrums. So I'm sitting there like, okay, do I jump in this scrum or what? He's touching their shirt and putting the damn thing on their shirt for locker room scrums. There's got to be some rule against that, right? I know I'm kind of snitching here, but I'm sitting there in a locker room scrum and he's got the damn pin mic on the dude's shirt. And Woody's not going to say anything.
I'll just say that was noticed, and I don't believe that will continue.
Okay, thank you. Because I was like, what? Because he was like, okay. You take the thing off. Okay, I'm like, because I was sitting there thinking about this, and we're pulling back the curtain. But a locker room scrum is basically where the players available, the media goes. Normally, you got big ass cameras that you got to go through and fight through. You get their scrum. They talk for their 5, 10, whatever minutes. And then that's the end of it. And they have met what they're required to do by the NFL leading up to the game. And they're also required to talk after the game. Some of y'all find this interesting. So when you go up there, like sometimes you'll see someone on the mic, like people will work together where like the KPR, like Randy McIlvoy the other day, he was holding the mics for even the CBS and Fox because you're closer and you develop that kind of like networking to where you get your mics up there. I go up to Woody Marks and Aaron has the GD freaking pin on his damn jersey. Like it's one thing for it to be like a set up one-on-one after practice. Got the damn pin on his jersey.
Hey, bro, can you put this on?
Didn't even ask him. And then I'm talking to Woody and he's
didn't
like,
ask him, he just put it on him?
Dude, and then he just grabs it off him while I'm talking to him. I'm like sitting there like, okay, how is this coming off?
No.
And he grabs the mic off. It might be on my thing. Let me see. Because I don't even think I I think I posted it on the YouTube shorts. Let me see if there's a.
Oh no.
No, it's. And look, there's a spot on it. He like ripped his shirt. There's like a spot on his shirt too. I think he like ripped his shirt with the mic. But anyways, he speaks. I mean, he's not the worst talker. He's like, it's kind of decent.
He's a better talker than Chubb.
Yeah. He said that he's been leaning on Nick Chubb. I was like, is there any sentimental value going back to LA? He's like, no. And I wanted to be like, yeah, you just went there for the money. Let's be real.
Yeah. He'd have been in Death Valley, Happy Valley, the big house, the shoe.
You didn't want to play for Lincoln.
Right?
You didn't want to play for Lincoln because of that. You don't strike me as an LA guy.
He played for Hamilton's.
Well, yeah, and he also made more money at USC than he will in his rookie deal. Probably by a good amount.
That's astounding.
Yeah. So good for him. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I didn't know if you noticed it too. I was like, what?
Not only did I notice it, someone else noticed it.
On the super chat, Carl.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
Carl says, hey guys, thanks for all your hard work and dedication to the Texans, but who will have more total yards for the year, Higgins or Knoll? We talked about this yesterday. I went with Knoll, and I think Stutz went with Higgins just to be contrarian. But I'll go with Knoll. But it really, I mean, depending on what's up with Christian Kirk, then I don't think anyone would bet against Knoll, assuming that it's kind of that situation.
Yeah, if he turns into Lou Gehrig and he takes his job the first day Kirk's hurt, like, okay, then it's easily Knoll.
Yep.
mean, it would stand to reason that if you got more inside snaps for Noel, more slot snaps for Noel, he'd have more opportunities to get yards than Higgins would, because when you're outside, you're competing a lot of times with Nico for the ball. And Nico's going to win and be open, and Higgins isn't going to do that as much as Nico does, and it'll be tougher. If I would think that if you could find this somewhere to wager on it, you could get good odds on Noel.
Yeah, I don't know where you find that wager. By the way, Aaron's getting a lot of respect for the alpha move of putting the pin in the shirt. And I'll just say, hey, I just thought it was amusing. We're AW friendly. By the way, we had him say, "Hey, bro," today. It will drop.
We got to get the drop ready for it. He was down. He's ready.
He's ready.
We told him to practice.
He said, "Get it ready, get it right." First, he tried to say it, and I was like, "Dude, that's not how you say it.
That's not how you say it.
That's not how you say it." AJ says, "Because I feel bad, I doubted Cody's question." Which one?
AJ thought it was a dumb question that I asked DeMeco about how you attack inexperienced offensive linemen.
Okay. Yeah, well, it happens. Alpha Wilson is that a new nickname? Are we going to go Alpha Wilson? I think we need to go Alpha Wilson.
As long as he's allowed to stick the microphone on him, I think you got to call him Alpha Wilson.
Alpha Wilson. There you go. So we got shots fired at Bobby from CJ.
Mm-hmm.
We got the question about getting on the same page with receivers.
Fantastic stuff.
And we know he likes Matthew Stafford. I got a analogy that I threw out yesterday. I'm going to throw it at you. I think I did. Did I do that? Did I do the Ric Flair analogy yesterday?
I don't think so.
I said CJ Stroud at this point trying to take the next step with Matthew Stafford on the last step. It's got to be Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair. You got to knock I'm not going to expect you to knock out Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, but at this point, with the saggy tits and the fake spray tan and the receding hairline and all that, you got it. You got to say, "I'm sorry, I love you," like Shawn Michaels, and hit Matthew Stafford with that sweet chin music. Here, before he does that, though, let's hear CJ Stroud talking about his love for Matthew Stafford.
Before, your respect for Matt Stafford, are there certain elements of his game that really stick out, or is it just an all-encompassing respect for how he approaches things?
I like his game, yeah. I mean, he does a good job of anticipation, no-look throws, moving guys with his eyes, coverage recognition. I think he can put the ball in any spot at any time from any arm angle. Does a good job with bad pockets is something I watched too. So yeah, he does a lot of great things, and yeah, he's a really good player.
Gee, I wonder why CJ had to watch a bunch of stuff about good job with bad pockets.
Yeah,
think he had a few of those.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at Stafford, it's almost a there was the CJ viral clip on $1 Million Worth of Game where he was talking to Gilliam Wallow, and he was talking about how if Matthew Stafford had what Aaron Rodgers had, he would have more Super Bowls. And Matthew Stafford is kind of like the warning sign of, if your surroundings don't improve, you just get beat to crap. And you can still have all this respect and admiration, but you get beat to crap. It's almost like a warning sign for quarterbacks as the Texans look to figure that out.
Well, and one thing that you unanimously, CJ didn't mention this, but you unanimously hear about Stafford, and we've talked about it, it's just everybody that says anything nice about Matt Stafford also talks about how tough he is, how much he's played through, and the back stuff that he dealt with in Detroit, and obviously he's dealing with in LA. And I mean, again, he's get up off the training table and go for 300 on you with a couple of touchdowns if you're not careful. But hopefully we get this on Sunday.
Yep, there it is. Look at that. That's Matthew Stafford now. It's CJ right there, looking good.
I love a good wrestling reference.
Hey, and that's an ideal one, man. Look, I'm not sitting here asking you to be elite, but I mean, God, the guy's getting epidurals. Come on, the guy's getting epidurals. You know, I mean, come on, man. Got to figure that out. I'm not going to ask a lot, but I'll ask that. Okay, it's fantasy advice season.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
All right, Jaden K says, Landry, I know you're his biggest fan. Do I honor Micah Parsons' bump and start Matthew Golden or Khalil Shakir to pair with my QB Josh. Damn, that's hard. I'm not Matthew Golden's biggest fan. I like him okay. Green Bay's playing Detroit. They're probably going to have to score, right? I mean, in Buffalo, God, I don't know. Shakir is – they don't really have a number one in either place. So this is a tough one.
Shakir feels like the type of guy that like they might just throw Kyle Hamilton at him and it could be a tough day.
Yeah,
like the Ravens like, hey, Kyle Hamilton, don't let that guy beat us.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, but I mean, this is pretty much a flip a coin. If I were doing it like on my team, and keep in mind I've had some very bad fantasy years. Shut up. I would go anything. Yeah, you said it with your face there, brother. I would go with I would go with Shakir. I would go with Shakir and just let Golden show me what he's got.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Golden is Jaden Reed's probably not going to play. The other rookie that they drafted's practicing in a limited capacity, so he's not 100%.
No, I'm going to go with Golden. Screw it.
Okay.
Let's go. We'll go with Golden. Let's go. Let's just I mean, they used a first round pick for a reason. So yeah, and they don't usually do that. So yeah, go with Golden. Go with Golden. Just go gold or go home. Yeah, we'll do that.
You probably spent the higher pick on Golden intending to start him. So play him.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. You got it. Figure that out. All right, so we're 457 deep here. And I'm going to ask a favor from you people. And I do mean you people. Reaction Monday is about to pop. It's going to be sick. And nothing on this channel or our personal channels is going to change. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to be better than ever. But this year, Reaction Monday, as it's been since this channel started, it's going to be the Monday after the game or the Tuesday after Monday night games. But that doesn't mean that you have to go without SNL at around 4 o'clock, because we have a new show. We have a collaboration, and we put this together. We were asked by our agency, hey, would you what 4 guys would you want to, what other 2 guys would you want to pair with? We're like, I don't know. Like, I don't really know who we'd want to pair with. And then we started getting creative, and we said, hey, how about some good old fashioned radio guys? We're both radio guys at heart. And that's where the Texans Collective happened. And the link is up there. We want y'all to subscribe to the channel. But myself, Cody Stutes, SNL, we're going to be with Sean Pendergast and Reginald Atatula Mondays at 6 and 6 o'clock after game. So Friday after the Buffalo game, and then the Monday nighters at 6. So Reaction Monday is going to continue. I'm still going to do the locker room at 10:30. It's going to be an outlook of the end of the week. And we're still going to be live Monday through Friday on SNL. Same Reaction Monday, but we're going to get some new voices. It's going to sound different. It's not going to be watered down. And these are 2 guys who know how to drive shows, 2 guys who follow the team, 2 guys who know the team. So take some time right now before we get out of here. And we'll still hear from CJ Stroud. We'll still do locker room sounds too. Click on the link in the description as well as in the chat, and subscribe to the channel. It's gonna be fun. I enjoy hearing Sean. I've always enjoyed working with Sean, and I've known Reggie, and I've admired his work for a long, long time. So I just pasted it in the comments. Click on that, subscribe, or go in the description and go ahead and do that.
Yep.
We appreciate it.
It's pinned to the top of the chat, so you should be able to find it pretty easy. Go hit that subscribe button. You'll help us out, and get ready for Mondays at 6 o'clock, because we're going to have a ton of fun stuff headed your way with this show. It's going to be awesome.
We appreciate y'all. That's 450. So we just want y'all to roll out there and subscribe. And this is going to be fun, because I'm almost, one of the things I might say, hey, don't put me on the left and Stutes on the right. Put Stutes on the left and me on the right. Might mess with you. Put Sean on the top. Put Reggie there. Who knows? We might go Brady Bunch in this mofo. But just subscribe to the collective, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good outlook, different perspectives, hybrids who know how to carry shows. So it's going to be fun. And I look forward to working with Sean. You know, we were on each other's prep docs when I was at 610.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we never really worked together. So working with Sean's going to be fun. Reggie, very insightful, analytical, and we'll keep it loose. We'll keep it fun. and we'll give you a different sound and just more Reaction Monday stuff. So shout out to all the people saying they did it. We very much appreciate y'all. The Alpha Wilson might have to stick. Before we get to the locker room, because we've heard from CJ, we've heard from DeMeco. So we went from the practice field to the press section, and then they opened the locker room. The locker room was open. Aaron Wilson had a moment, man. He played his own audio. That's the biggest nightmare for anyone that broadcasts. And maybe this was another power move. Maybe Alpha Wilson is still alive. But when something plays off your phone, it sucks because you're like, oh God, it's like a pardon my take joke or something like that. Or I was listening to a music video. Like, it's always awkward. But when it's yourself, that sucks. And that's what happened to Aaron when CJ was at the podium, and CJ had a little fun with him.
Career so far has been Nico, Tank, and I think those two guys have really been the ones that I've really been around the most and been able to. I got you. I'm messing with you.
I mean, it got I bumped the audio up a little bit so you could hear it on the video, but everybody in the entire room just went, and they looked at it like, what are you doing, Aaron?
By the way, Rich Boy J does get credit for coming up with Alpha Wilson. Alpha Wilson's killing it today.
Let's hear Alpha Wilson kill it with Alpha Wilson on Alpha Wilson's phone.
My career so far has been Nico, Tank, and I think those two guys have really been the ones that I've really been around the most and been able to. I got you. I'm messing with you.
Dude, the season of Alpha Wilson is like. By the way, we're almost pushing 200 on the new channel. Click the link, peeps. Can't be 432 deep and be at 180 or whatever it is. Subscribe to the new channel.
Here's one of my favorite.
Once a week, Reaction Monday, getting better.
Here's one of my favorite parts about it is I'm Aaron Wilson here at Gillette Stadium. That video is like 2 years old.
Damn, I wonder what was in that video.
Why was he in? How did he click that video?
Damn, that's a good question. Good question.
How does he end up on that video?
Don't know. So DeMeco in hardo mode over the O-line. CJ trying to go Shawn Michaels. Then we went to the locker room. A couple of things there. These videos will drop tonight. I'll react to them. We got the first media availability of CJ Gardner-Johnson. Basically just said he was ready to go, and he's fired up. I mean, he was just his normal self, normal hokey self. Titus Howard, I thought he was pretty good today.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid. Talked about the mindset of developing an offensive line, the nastiness that goes with it. He sounds the part. He said the thing that he worked on the most was leadership. So Titus Howard is trying to be a leader. And by the way, yeah, you can talk about this. I like the dynamic between him and Ursary, and kind of like the joking around that they do, as opposed to like the dynamic of the offensive line last year. Like, they're kind of hounding each other about
how fast they were.
I just said he ran 18 miles per hour twice. He's like, if you ran 20 miles an hour, you're running a 4.7, and like they're arguing about who's faster and all this. Like, it's like the offensive linemen are like football guys now. It's weird because that's not what it was, like that dynamic in that area. But like these guys are like arguing about football stuff. Like, I'm faster than you, you're faster, blah, blah, blah. And they're just kind of going back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, and it's Titus, Lake and Tomlinson, and Ursary all right next to each other. So yeah, it's a good spot. It feels like the offensive line's in. I like Titus saying, hey, we've got to be schematically and just knowing our assignments better, because last year we just didn't know what we were doing. And it's like, yeah, we saw.
Yes, we did.
Part of fixing a problem is identifying it.
Yeah.
So
Titus just sounds the part. Nico, I was not in Nico's availability. You were. Anything stick out? Just Nico.
The usual.
Yeah,
Right after. So there was one quote that I found pretty interesting, because people were talking to Davis Mills, obviously, with his new contract extension.
obviously.
Well, the newspaper people can go get a quote from him.
Okay.
But they were asking him about why this offense, why it's better. What about it and having the control? And he's like, well, when we have control at the line of scrimmage, we could add more depth to the offense. He's like, we can fix protection better. And he's like, we can fix wide receiver routes. We can change routes at the line of scrimmage, and all things that it seems like they were not allowed or weren't able to do in the previous system. So as we find out and hear more and more and more about what the quarterbacks can do from that QB spot they weren't allowed to do, gets me more and more excited about the offense.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm still a little bit skeptical to completely buy in, but I agree with you. Like, the sound of it is a lot better. A lot better. Dar Gumbo also, I just got a minute with him, and then I dipped. But I thought that Dare was somewhat interesting. Here was what he had to say about being a captain, being consistent, and also like the offseason that was, because we thought at a certain point that maybe they would have to quit Dare, but they did not, and he hung in there, and you can just kind of get a grasp of what he's about and why they like him so much. What was it like being named team captain?
It's a blessing, man. It's always special. Being able to be voted by your teammates. That's what means the most, I guess. So, no, it's very, very special.
The word that always comes up is consistency with you, whether it's Frank or DeMeco. They bring in a lot of other running backs. What has this offseason been like compared to others? And has it been at all any more difficult to be consistent with all the stuff going on around you in that room?
No, I mean, I've been a part of some wild off seasons, you know what I'm saying? So I've just been able to stay consistent, throughout my 9 years. Just finding what works for me, how I train, how I work, and just my routine. So I've been able to be a consistent guy, consistent player, have a consistent role, and it's been very good.
Is there any extra added responsibility that comes with being consistent and a captain at the same time?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I feel like my leadership style has always, I guess, shown through the way I attack every day. I mean, it's like I said, it's an honor, like a true honor to be voted by my teammates to represent them like that and be a captain. But I don't plan on changing the way I lead at all.
And I believe him. And someone said, "What do you mean you got a minute?" And Dip, I just asked those questions and let the camera guys get in front. That was pretty much the strategy there. It's really what you need from Dare. But what a way to just carve out a career for yourself by he.
I mean, you've said it, and it stands the test of time. Everybody wishes they could maximize their skills like Dare has.
Yep, no doubt. So, anything else stick out in the locker room? Did I miss anything? What did Davis Mills have to say? Because obviously, you had to.
I heard them ask about the offense after I talked to Titus.
Davis actually had some good offense quotes, right?
The one that I heard that I tweeted, yes.
What did he say? We should have started with this.
I just went through it. Hold on. You're going to tell me. Now, hold on now. You're going to tell me that a minute of Dare being a captain is better than Davis talking about how important the quarterback position, being able to change things in the line of scrimmage, is better?
No, I'm not going to say that. But maybe you could make a case, but I'm not going to say, well, obviously everybody wanted to see Davis Mills today.
Obviously people were talking to Davis Mills.
So,
you know what?
Quite frankly, I'm tired of talking about it.
You said, Davis Mills, obviously. Like, why didn't they send him to the podium?
Quite frankly, I'm tired of talking about it.
DeMeco giving us that, Jim. We'll use that for years.
Yeah, that's going to be your favorite thing from now on.
Andrew starts lying about me again.
Quite frankly, I'm tired of talking about it.
By the way, people, if you haven't subscribed to the collective yet, those of you just hopping in, subscribe to the collective. We got the link up there. Subscribe to the collective. We're creeping up. It's going to be fun. Good experience. I hate that you got this weapon now. But, you know, it happens.
Would you say that you're
Quite frankly, I'm tired of talking about it.
I'm good. It's very alpha. It's very alpha Wilson of you. By the way, tomorrow, little earlier practice, and we get to hear from Nick Caley. Now, we're going to take some bets.
Do I jinx or help Nick Caley the way I did Bobby Slowick a year ago? Bobby Slowick took the podium for week 1, and I took a picture and I said, will this be the last week 1 for Bobby Slowick as the Texans offensive coordinator? Sure enough, it was.
Texans Collective link is up there. Go ahead and figure that out. By the way, we're taking bets right now in the chat. And if you're right, pat yourself on the back. Over, under. We got to set an over, under on how long Frank Ross's week 1 opening statement is. We got to set an over, under on this, and we got to time it. He goes up to the podium. He doesn't say anything. How long will Frank Ross's week 1 state of things last?
So, former NFLer Chase Blackburn is the special teams coordinator for the LA Rams.
He'll mention him.
He's never coached with or against Blackburn, best I can tell, just looking at Blackburn's resume. So there won't be like I remember him, but maybe he'll shout out that he was a great special teams player or something like that.
I'm going to say 145 is the over under. 145, 1 minute and 45 seconds. Whittington will get mentioned.
Okay.
Whittington will get mentioned. I'm going to say 145 is the over under. We taking the over or the under?
I'm going to go under.
You'll go under. I'll go over. I'll go over 145. So we'll be on the opposite end. Is it an apple cider vinegar bet?
No.
What's the bet?
I don't know. I just want I don't want the apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
You know how many people ask me about that?
It goes down. Appreciate everyone for rolling through. Subscribe, like, right along. Subscribe to the collective. Put the link up again, right there. 400 of y'all. Come on, we got it. We got to get to 500 before.
I like how you keep putting the link up when it's pinned to the top of the chat.
We're all in this together.
Eat good, sleep good, be good. We'll talk Texans again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.